Namaste. This is Michelle Skaletski-Boyd bringing you part 5, the conclusion of the video series on intuition. Now that we know what intuition is, and we've gone over the basic clair, such as clairvoyancy and clairaudiency and claircognizance, and you remember? Clairsentience. Very good. And we've also talked about how muscle testing doesn't always work and why that is. Let's now talk about possibilities that there are communications on the other side. Because I am clairaudient, I primarily work with people who want to get more of an understanding. Who are my spiritual guides? Is that really my grandma that I'm talking to? Is that really Uncle Joe? Who is that I keep hearing or seeing, or who is that I'm sensing or just knowing? And so I begin by working. Oh, there's a deer. I'm sorry. I often get joined by little critters, and that's what's happening right now. Is a beautiful doe just went through, and she's joining us, so she must want to come through, which is very synchronistic, because sometimes people have different connections with animals, and they want to know whether or not who their spirit animals are. And so there are so many different spiritual coaches and teachers and people who can help you. They can help you understand your soul contracts, your soul paths. There are intuitive teachers, there are medical intuitives. There are many people who do this type of work. Really make it experiential. I am a transformational hypnotherapist in the fact that I help you fully connect to your higher self. If you haven't seen my 3-part video series yet on exactly what that means, you might want to look that up. But basically, I am going to be there to not give you a reading, not at all. I'm going to be there to help validate and affirm your truth. And so an example might be you and I are working on the telephone together or in a group session, and you're in a place of pure and wonderful creativity and bliss, and you're asking yourself the question, I feel like there's a female with me, and it sort of smells like grandma's perfume, but my left brain is getting in the way, and it's making me wonder if that's really her. And it's telling me that maybe I'm making this all up. And so then we close it off. And so I'm there to help give you trust. I'm there to help validate, to help give you the courage to keep going, to see what might happen. And we create the space so that it's very beautiful, and so it's very safe, and to help give you the tools so that you know how to bring in love and how to bring in light, and how to actually experience yourself so that you have a full understanding of why you're here and who you are. And I also work exclusively with people that want to get a better understanding of their yeses and their nos, as we talked about in the previous video. How do I know for sure what my yeses and my nos may be? Because it's very important when you and I are no longer working together that you're able to do this on your own. See, my job is to give you the tools that you need so that you feel confident enough to be able to fully connect to your truth without me. And so what generally happens is you get out on your own, and then you start to question yourself. And I always then encourage you to go back to your yeses and nos, to turn yourself back on the path again. And it's very important that you know your yeses and nos before you can get back on the path. So an example might be if you're going into meditation and you feel like you're having a conversation with one of your spiritual guides, but you question yourself because you just are starting out, then I would suggest that you go into the yeses and nos by asking yourself something that you do know for sure is a yes. For example, my name is Michelle Lee Skaletski-Boyd. Now my yes is very strong, and your yes would be very strong as well. And then we would say, is this my spiritual guide? Now, nothing's happening because I don't know for sure, because there's really not a spiritual guide for me. But if I got a no, then I would know that it wasn't my spiritual guide, and I would have to ask more questions. And you can open up your akashic records this way. You can ask questions of your soul contracts this way. There's so many things that you can do with this as soon as you know your yeses and your nos. But without your yeses and your nos, it can be very, very difficult. And so I work exclusively with clients who want to be able to take it to the next level. And if you're interested in learning more about me, or to bring me in to your group settings, your workshops, or to actually see me perform on a platform on stage where I actually will interact with the audience, you can learn more about me at www.soulfelt.com. That's SoulFelt.com. Until we meet again, enjoy the experience.